Overthinking is ruining your life. Now, listen to this. Have you ever tried to start a new hobby or maybe a new interest, whatever it may be, and you do some research online and you find yourself coming across about 50 different perspectives? And so before you even start, you start analyzing information, trying to figure out what's best, but you actually end up not doing anything at all. This is just one of the many reasons why overthinking is putting you in a position of non-action and why it is actually affecting pretty much every area of your life. So in this video, I'm gonna go over how you can actually stop overthinking and the tools that I use to actually help me take action. That way I'm not in a constant state of just mental distress trying to think about what is best. Because at the end of the day, the people who take action are the ones who actually see the results. And the ones who overthink are the ones who never end up starting. So like I said, whenever you try to research too much information or you get in information overload, this leads to inaction, and this process is called analysis paralysis. Basically, the idea is that you know a lot of information, but you don't know how to implement it, or maybe you know how to implement it, but you're overthinking so much that you don't know where or how to start. Your brain is sort of confused and it leads to a cluster. I know personally, I see this a lot with people in their fitness journeys or fitness transformations. They want to get started in the gym, but they don't know if they should do push-pull legs. They don't know if I should do upper, lower, full body. Should I train this, that, how many reps, sets? Like, it's very confusing, right? And basically, whenever you overthink, this drains your mental energy and reduces the ability to just make decisions. This is why sometimes you'll see very successful people with a very simple wardrobe. This is the idea that whenever you have too many decisions to make, especially at the start of the day, you sort of lose brain power throughout the course of the day, thus making it harder for you to actually take action. Now, if you want to get over this, you have to understand and learn this important concept, and that is life rewards action and action breeds clarity. I'll say it again. Life rewards action and action breeds clarity. So think about some successful people. I know quite a handful. And I will tell you, it's not necessarily that they're smarter than you or smarter than me. I'm not even probably smarter than you when it comes to just general intelligence level. The difference between me and you and maybe somebody else that you look up to is the fact that they simply took action. Life rewards action, not intelligence. And I came across that quote on YouTube, and that quote was so powerful to me because it gave me clarity on why certain people see success faster than others. And that's because, once again, it's not that they're necessarily more intelligent, it's more so that they took action and life rewards that action that they took. Also, I have another saying, and that is, opportunities present themselves to those who present themselves. And what this really means is that the opportunity equals the reward. So life rewards people who took action. The action is the fact that you presented yourself. And so I pretty much had this whole concept in my head the whole entire time. And then when it comes to action breeding clarity, sometimes you might be confused on how to start or where to start, but you actually gain the clarity from just starting. So going back to the gym example, you don't know how many reps to do, how many sets to do, what workout program to do, but the first step is you literally getting in your car and driving to the gym. You make it in the gym, you kind of go about the movements, you really don't know what you're doing, but through that trial and error, that action in itself will bring you clarity over time. So anytime I'm trying to learn something, or maybe I have a new hobby or maybe a new goal, because it is 2025, you guys probably have new goals, I've realized that I am not going to research too much information, but more so I'm going to learn through my own trial and error. And through that, I know that the answers are going to come to me. And also remember this, imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single time. So even if you take the action and it's not right, it's not optimal, it's not perfect, the fact that you even took the step to do it, that's going to be not doing anything every single time, and that goes in every single field. Now, like I said, through the action, one process you have to fully embrace is the fact that you're gonna have to learn as you go. But you first have to take that action. Not everything's gonna be perfect at first. When I first started this YouTube channel, I had no idea what I was doing whatsoever. My confidence was off. I didn't know what I was gonna talk about. And most times there was no strategy to it. But throughout the course of time, I sort of just got better because I learned as I went along. And a lot of things are going to be self-taught. Like I said, a lot of things are going to be through your own trial and error, but through that, you also cannot be afraid of the failure, because the failure through action, especially not immediate optimal action, it's going to be inevitable. Now, once you get more clarity on the fact that failure is probably going to be inevitable, it's just going to make the process so much more easier and almost more graceful, because you already know, like, hey, I'm not expecting to be the best in this particular field or in this moment. I just want to take the first step. And also, let's remember too that there is no perfect path. So what goes around a lot is this word called optimal. You probably heard of it. This is the most optimal way. This is the best way. This is the most optimal path. Here's the truth. There is no perfect path. The most perfect path is the one that you can walk to and stick to for the longest. Simple as that. I learned that with training a long time ago. I used to obsess about my workout routine and how many reps and my periodization and all these really advanced terms when it comes to training. But I realized the most perfect workout routine was the one that I personally enjoy doing and the one that I could stay to for the longest. And that goes with any system or habit there is. There is no perfect path. The perfect path is the one that you can stay the most consistent with. So when it comes to research, you might find yourself with 50 different perspectives, like I mentioned before. This person says this person says this is conflicting with that, but here's how I do it. And that is, I find the commonalities between everything that's being said, and I create a list of 5 to 10 things that are common between all the same perspectives. So for example, if I'm trying to figure out the best way to build a telescope, and this person is telling me I should use wood, this person is telling me I should use metal, but they both tell me that I should use a particular type of glass, or another point, there's a commonality between that. I will personally write down those commonalities. That way I find the most quote unquote optimal, once again, between all the points being said. Because the truth is, no matter what you're trying to do or what you're trying to learn or what you're trying to take action towards, there is a set of standards and things that are most common between every single perspective and viewpoint. And so I will write those down, and then once I take the action, I will learn from my own personal trial and error and experiences of the little nuances between that works best for me. And once again, I might come across failure in this process. Whenever I'm building that telescope, it might fall down a few times, and then I might tell myself, okay, for the platform that I'm working on, maybe I should use metal instead of wood. And then I will go and retry it again. You need to implement this in every perspective, and definitely whenever you research. Now, there's this book that I love. It's called The One Thing by Gary Keller. And basically the big idea from The One Thing was, what is the one thing that I can do such that doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? So basically what this is saying is going back to the Pareto principle with the 80-20 rule. 80% of your results will usually come from 20% of your actions. And this translated basically means that the small things that you do will yield most of the results. So what we have to do is try to find those small things that will yield the most results. So going back to fitness and nutrition, because this is something that has been really heavy in my life, if I'm really trying to enhance my physique, get lean, become a better version visually, I have found that the 2 things that bring me the most results are tracking my calories and going to the gym consistently. Those 2 things, that's literally it. Tracking my calories and protein and going to the gym. Everything else, kind of negotiable. It's not about, oh, am I doing the right rep scheme or am I doing the right exercise movement? No, am I going to the gym consistently with the program that I enjoy doing, and am I tracking my calories? And so I encourage you to follow this principle that was in this book. What is the one thing that you can do such that doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? Think about that Pareto principle and that 80-20 rule whenever you're trying to learn or go about taking action. Now, perhaps the biggest thing that has helped me when it comes to taking action is the fact that you just have to implement quickly and very, very fast. You gotta love speed. You gotta move quickly. If you spend too much time dwelling on information, once again, you will never take action. But if you wanna do something, I encourage you to try and do one thing that's gonna produce the biggest results or the most profound impact today. Literally today. Move quickly, implement even faster. You have an idea, take action on it. Don't even think about it too much. Literally, just pick up your feet or move your hands and do the thing that you have to do. Nike, just do it. It really is a strong motto. I'm not gonna lie. Whenever you just do it, you'll find that it's just easier to learn and just do things over time, but you just first gotta single in your focus and take that first step and do it quickly. All right, so this is one big mistake that I see a lot of guys make. However, if you wanna see 5 huge mistakes that I personally have made and that you're probably making right now, be sure to watch this video next where I go over 5 self-improvement mistakes that everybody is making right now. So be sure to click that one and watch it next.